Hey there. So today the tap handle that I have for all you folks is Miller Lite, and this is a vintage Miller Lite tap handle. This is lucite, so as was brought up in one of my previous videos, or acrylic or lucite, but as was brought up in a previous one, a lot of times when it's a very clear material like this, and when you have this kind of floating element, then that's typically a sign that it is a lucite tap handle, or at least a very good quality clear acrylic. It is worth noting with the Miller Lite tap handles that you've got a couple of different versions of them. This one has a little bit of this kind of handle element on it, with a lot of the tap handles that you would have seen during this period. So typically, if you're thinking about lucite tap handles, I would typically place them in like the 40s to the 70s. Somebody, if you have more detailed dating on those, I'd love to hear. But with these, you've got a couple of different versions. Some of them that'll be a little bit shorter, some of them will be a little bit taller, but you'll notice that there's a couple of styles that certain breweries would typically reproduce. So you might have a slightly taller version, slightly smaller version, but a lot of the shape or styling would be the same. So this is one of the ones that you'll see a lot with these Miller Lite ones, is that you've got this a little bit kind of oval shape, I'd say, at the top, and then you'd have different elements for the base down here. So you do have the design or the pattern you can see from the back and the front. For this particular one, it is the same pattern. So with some of the beers, some of the breweries, you'll have a different pattern on the back than you do on the front, but with this one, it's the same. And one of the things you'll notice with this is you've got some curvature in the front, and then on the back it is flat. And that flat design actually goes all the way down through the handle as well, so that's just worth noting. So this would lay totally flat if you've got it on a surface like that. So there's no actual rounded edges on the back. And then with this is also worth noting with the various lucite tap handles, some of them will have the insert, some of them will not. So you'll notice with this one, it just is tapped directly into the material there. So you don't have an insert. This is something that you wanted to keep a lookout for any tap handles. Depending upon the tap, if you don't see an insert, that means that it's missing it. With this particular one, it's designed so that it doesn't have the insert there. It's just tapped directly into the material. So once again, Miller Lite tap handle. Hope that was useful for everybody.